So course 2, 2.8, we talk about least common multiple. So what is least common multiple? So first of all, we have two concepts. So one concept is the multiple and the other concept is least common multiple. So what is the concept of multiple? So a multiple of a number is the product of that number and a non-zero whole number. So a multiple of a number is the product of that number and a non-zero whole number. So a multiple of a number is the product of that number and a non-zero whole number. So the multiple of a number is the product of that number and a non-zero whole number. So a product of that number is x. So it's the product of that number and a non-zero whole number. Let's just say a. So now ax, which a can be 1x, 2x, 5x, or 100x. So that's multiple. It's a number multiplies a non-zero whole number. Okay. So then what is least common multiple? So least common multiple of two or more numbers is the common multiple with the least value. So least common multiple, the least common multiple, the least common multiple, LCM of two or more numbers is the common multiple with the least value. So the least common multiple, which is LCM, of two or more numbers is the common multiple with the least value. The least value means the smallest value. So least common multiple is the multiple of all the numbers involved, but it's the smallest one. So now I want to learn how to use a list to find common multiple, but then later we actually use steps to find it, so that's easier. So use a list to find common multiple. So now for multiples of 3, we have 3, right? 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4, 3 times 5, 3 times 6, 3 times 7, and then I have multiples of 5. Multiples of 5, I have 5 times 1, 5 times 2, 5 times 3, 5 times 4, 5 times 5, 5 times 6, 5 times 7, and then the least common one is you have now 15 and 15. So then the least common multiple, this is 15. Okay, so then we want to find the least common multiple for 4, 6, and 12. So to do it, still the multiples of 6, of 4. So we get 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. The multiples of 6 is 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54. That's multiples of 6. You can multiples of 12, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96. Okay, so we want to find the smallest common multiple. So here we actually have 12, 12, 12. So 12 is the smallest one that has the common multiple. So multiple is like going up. So it's not like common factor. Common factor is talking about the factor, the thing that multiplied together becomes the whole number. Multiple is the number multiplying by itself. So the least common multiple is actually 12. So then in this case, there is this 24, 24, 24. 24 is also a common multiple, but it's not the smallest one. The smallest one is 12. Okay, so example 2, we want to find the least common multiple. So these common multiples, since these guys are more complicated, so we are just going to use the step method to use the short division to help us to trace it back the least common multiple. So 78 and 110 divided by 2, 39, 55, and then in this case, if I were to continue, then I need 11 or 13, but then I don't have that. So 39 and 55, the greatest common factor is 1 already. So that means these are the end. Like I cannot factor common factor anymore. So then in this case, my least common multiple equals to 2 times 39 times 55. 2 times 39 times 55, which equals to 4,290. So now I have B, 6, 27, and 45. So I have 6 at 27 and 45. And then so first I want to start by the smallest prime number. So I got prime number. So I have 2 and 3 and 5 and 7 and 11 and 13. Then 17, 19, 23, and then 23, 25, 27, 29, 31. So I want to start by the smallest prime number. So I use 2 and it doesn't work. And then I'll just use 3. And this is 2, this is 9, and this is 15. And then now since I'm finding the least common multiple, I want to continue to do the short division without having the factor being the factor of all 3. So when finding least common multiple, when 3 is a factor of 3 and 5, then I can start using it. I just drop down 2. So 3 and 3, and then 2 and 3 and 5. Because I'm finding the least common multiple, so what I want is I want something that 6 can multiply and then will become this number. So I'm actually looking for this number. So this number 6 can just go to this number by applying this factor 2. So in this case, if I can find a factor that can divide 2 of the numbers that I'm looking for, then I should go ahead and do it. So the least common multiple comes by 3 times 3 times 2 times 3 times 5, which is 9 times 6 times 5. That is 270. Okay, example 3 is Charla and her little brother are walking laps on a track. So Charla walks 1 lap every 4 minutes, and her brother walks 1 lap every 6 minutes, and they start together. So how many minutes that they will be together at the starting line again? So it's at the starting line. So for Carla. So every 4 minutes, so you get 4, and then 8, and then 12, and then 16, and 20, and then 24, and then her brother. So it's Carla's brother, and then you get 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. So then now I can see the least common multiple happens when it's 12 minutes, because they both share that after 12 minutes they will finish a whole number of laps. So the answer is 12. And I can also verify it by doing the common multiple using the short division. So I divide it by 2. This is 3 and 2. So this equals to 2 times 3 times 2. So this is 12 minutes. That's it.